I would be interested, and I'd love to maybe bring you back on, like especially with guests, when we go through the journey. That's kind of their story of what brought them here. But certain guests I do like to bring back, and then you can get more technical and talk. I'd be very interested to maybe even talk about the history of Muay Thai as well. Which does that play an important part in your training? Like learning what was the golden era, who were the people before me, and what were they doing, and how can you know guys like John Danaher.
Mm-hmm.
Like this guy watches like boxing fights in Europe from the 30s to maybe pick something up. Like it's very interesting, the history of these sports and possibly techniques getting lost in time and going back and finding that. Does that play a role in your development?
Oh, it does. You know, I have a gym inside my house. I do all my airdyne work and all my cardio inside the house, all the additional stuff. And I watch fights the entire time, and I kind of try to study that. And I have my whole career. The thing is, I don't get obsessed with one specific time, like the golden era or anything like that, because I personally also try to look at the current state of the sport, like what's happening right now. And I feel like some people are like really obsessed with the traditional aspect, or they're really new school. And I feel like both sides sometimes get mad at me because I sometimes go towards the like new school aspects. And then the new school guys are like, oh, yeah, that's really awesome. But then when I go back to like the traditional side, they're like, oh, come on, man, that's kind of outdated, you know? But I like to mix both and just literally look at what works, what has the most success rate, what has had the most success rate. And then like in the current format and environment of the sport, what works the best. And that's usually where I just try to form my own systems around it. And that's where my content kind of comes from.
Yeah, and I highly suggest anyone check that out on the Instagram. It's interesting content because it focuses heavily on the technique, and it doesn't really necessarily connect to you. It's more like this is like, as you're not talking to the audiences heavily, you're more this is the technique. Let's focus on that. This is what we're doing. And I think any up and comer is like looking for that information. It's not so easy to find online. Definitely for Muay Thai techniques. I mean, you have yourself, like, well, the Muay Thai guy and Muay Thai technician. And there's another guy I follow in Koh Samui, Pascal, the German.
Pascal, yeah.
Pascal, yeah. It's out there. So I highly recommend that people can check that out and learn technique as well. Because maybe not everyone can even afford to get a plane ticket to come over here.
That's what's beautiful about it, right? Like now you can access this content or be able to see a world champion teaching a certain technique or tactic or how he does things. There is a factor of wanting to train it and be here where you get 4 or 5 hours to rep it out. But if you're intrinsically motivated enough yourself, you can take this information and put it to work by yourself.
What type of stuff do you offer? Like if people, I saw you have your link tree in the bio, and people they're able to come and enjoy the technique, but is there certain packages people can follow? Are there any courses that you're providing as well?
Yeah, so I have 2 formats. One is membership, which is just kind of a collection of everything that I do. So it's striking seminars, clinics, striking systems. It has different workouts, things like that. It also has like privates with legendary trainers that I worked with over the years, and me doing those technical breakdowns that I do over 1 minute, over an hour, and really taking it to like the nitty and gritty. And then I have a completely follow along program that's with 6 or 7 professional fighters that are showing you the techniques. You're getting coaching from the corner. So it's me in your corner like this, just cheering you on and explaining like the cues, you know, of like how to turn your hip over, how to get a better kick, things like that. And
if you enjoyed this content, we're doing 5 clips like this a week. If you want to watch the full podcast, click here.